What's up guys, J-Pizzy back here. We're going to be covering Floowandereeze today. This is season 13 of Yu-Gi-Oh! Master Duel. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. So we're back here with the bird deck, right? And we're just going to be covering the card by card for my Floowandereeze build. This deck helped me climb all the way to diamond. We're just going to go over the card by card. So Robina is your starter. It's one of your two starters. It's either Robina or M to go as a starter, or Robina and one of the field spells of the starter. You could either do the field spell in any of your Floowandereeze cards. Honestly, it's full combo, but Robina is one of your starters. Robina obviously allows you to add one level 4 or lower winged beast monster from your deck to your hand. I did sub in DD Crow instead of Barrier Statue, since Barrier Statue got banned, but I saw that in this meta, DD Crow really isn't as useful. There's not many cards that's activated in the graveyard currently, but as soon as Tier Elements comes out, I'm telling you, DD Crow is the way to go to stop your opponent from being able to activate those fusion summons from the graveyard. Since we're not using DD Crow, most of the time we're going to use Robina to go ahead and search your Eaglin. Eaglin is going to allow you to be able to get your big boss monsters out to your hand. So you're going to be able to bring your Imp to your hand, you're going to be able to bring the Monarch to your hand, and you're also going to be able to bring your Mist Valley Negate to the hand. So I run 2 Sturry. The reason why I run 2 Sturry is because I want to be able to banish my opponent's cards on their turn, and then I want to be able to banish my cards on my turn. The reason why I want to banish my own cards is that if I activate Dimension Shifter and I have one other card in my graveyard, let's say for example maybe Pot of not Pot of Desires, but Pot of Avarice, and I need to get it out of my graveyard to bring Shifter back to the top of my deck to be able to draw it to activate Shifter again, I would use Sturry to banish my own spell card and all monster cards that's in my graveyard. There's only 2 monster cards, not 2 monster cards, besides your hand traps, there's only 2 monster cards that's a part of your main deck that go to the graveyard, which is Mist Valley and your Monarch, but we try to avoid sending those to the graveyard. And if they do, you just use Stir to banish them to be able to grab back your Dimension Shifter if needed. So I use Token in place with the field spell a lot. So I'll sometimes banish my Imp, my big boy Floowandereeze card, and then I use Token to grab it from the banish zone to my hand as like a replacement for my Eaglin. So instead of using Eaglin to grab a level 8 from my level 7 or higher from my deck, I can just use Token to grab Imp directly from my banish zone. And or I sometimes send the spell card that allows you to tribute your opponent's cards as well, because you're allowed to tribute their spell and traps and their monsters, which completely destroys the runic matchup, because if you tribute their field spell, you can also banish their field spell with the former Floowandereeze card. Obviously, we're running the staples. We have Maxi in here. We have Ash Blossom. I'm only doing 2 Maxis, 1 Ash. You could switch up this ratio to be 1 Maxi, 2 Ash. I like it at this ratio because there's so many decks that special summon right now, and drawing into hand traps in this deck is a real bummer. It can actually kill you instead of helping you. Of course, the big boy himself, Dimensional Shifter. You use Dimensional Shifter on your opponent's turn, you use Dimensional Shifter on your turn, but you use Dimensional Shifter at the start of your turn. You don't want to have cards end up in your graveyard and now all of a sudden you're unable to use your Dimensional Shifter. Sometimes Dimensional Shifter is a quick effect activate and you win the duel. It's an auto win against some decks or some players because they just don't want to play against Dimensional Shifter. Of course, we have Mist Valley, Apex, Avion. So when you summon Avion, I use Avion as a negate all the time. I use it as my second summon. If I'm able to set up my field spell and I'm able to set up my trap card to be able to normal summon Floowandereeze monsters, which is basically how many interruptions you have for your opponent's turn. If I have 2 interruptions, let's say I activate my opponent normal summons, I can use the field spell as my way of normal summoning. Usually I use this as my Apex summon, and then if I have the trap card, I use the trap card as my Monarch summon so that I can bounce the Monarch back to my hand. Sometimes you end up in a situation where you don't even use Avion. Avion is just a good draw, right? And then you can use your Monarch as a double return to hand, right? So it's a double interruption in some cases. Of course, we have Ryza. Ryza is such an amazing mono card. You tribute your wing beast monsters and you're able to return Ryza to hand. Sometimes I was able to pull off a Ryza bounce twice. And you want to use Ryza as well to return your Dimension Shifter to the top of your deck so you can draw it next turn. It's such an amazing card. Ryza is the ultimate interruption in this deck. It gives you, if you have your field spell and you have your trap and you have Ryza in hand, you're able to now pull off the return card to hand as your Ryza itself, and then you're now to summon Ryza again as a second interruption. So it couldn't possibly be a double interruption on your opponent's turn. Such an amazing card. Of course, the main boy himself, M-Pen. Your opponent 100% has to draw the out to M-Pen, or else they're going to have a very difficult time getting over M-Pen. And even if they banish M-Pen, you're able to bring M-Pen back to your hand using your lower level Floowandereeze monsters. If they send M-Pen to your graveyard, you're able to banish him and then bring him back to your hand as well. M-Pen can be literally the thorn in your opponent's ass to where they just literally just back out of they surrender and you just have easy wins. Sometimes M-Pen alone being on the field just shuts down some decks completely where they can't activate the effects of none of their special summon monster. ABC is one of those examples. ABC struggles against Floowandereeze, especially when you go first. If you go second and you're able to break into ABC board, get through their 2 negates if they have the 2 negates, or get through their 1 Therion negate, and you could just go through with your special summons. Even if they banish, you still have reoccursion because you can bring the cards back to your hand after they're banished, and ABCs struggle with that. I have such an amazing replay with versus an ABC player that I'll probably put together in my Floowandereeze replay videos that's probably going to drop after this video. So make sure you guys like, subscribe, and comment, and we're going to continue with the card by card. Of course, we have our staples: Harpy's Feather Duster, Terraforming to be able to grab the field spell. If you draw into it, it's such an amazing card. If you draw into Terraforming and you draw into your field spell, Terraforming basically is a brick, but you run one of it just in case. Pot of Duality allows you to, you can search your deck twice with Pot of Adverse Extravagance. You can play Pot of Extravagance the first time, and then you're able to play Pot of Duality the second time. The two drawn into each other is a +3 cards, like it's a +3 because you activate Pot of Extravagance and then you draw 2, and then you activate plus Pot of Duality, so you gave up 2 cards to be able to draw 3. That's such an amazing thing to do. You can pull off on your first hand, you can get 6 cards in your hand or off of coming first. So, and if you're going second, you can get 7 cards in your hand. It's such an amazing combo. If you draw into the 2 of them, you're in luck. I run 1 Dark Ruler no more. I haven't used it that much. I think there's only been one time where I had like an unbreakable ball in front of me and I top deck Dark Ruler no more, and I absolutely negated his entire field and I just destroyed him after that. So if you want to run Dark Ruler no more, be my guest, but for me, I would rather drop it to get 1 more Book of Moon in there. But some people love Dark Ruler no more. I don't really like it. It stops me from being able to finish games fast, and I like to finish games fast. Of course, we have our Floowandereeze Magnificent Map. Such an amazing card. You show one of your Floowandereeze monsters to your opponent, you normal summon it, you banish one from your deck Floowandereeze card, so it doesn't have to be a Floowandereeze monster. You can actually send the spell or the trap and then have your your lower level Floowandereeze monster bring the spell and or trap back from the banish zone to your hand. It's such an amazing tool. Use it if you can. Of course, we have the main man himself, Floowandereeze, and the Magnificent Map. It's such an amazing card. You reveal a Floowandereeze monster in your hand, you send one of your Floowandereeze cards from your deck to the banish zone, and then you get to normal summon your Floowandereeze level 1. It's such an amazing card. Sometimes I send a spell or the traps, sometimes I send my M-Pen so I can grab M-Pen back, or I can grab my spell and traps back. It all depends on the combo you're going for, but Map is such an amazing card. You top deck Map, sometimes wins you games. You do your regular normal summons, your opponent thinks they've completely outed you, it makes them go into their negates and stuff like that, and then you play Map, you activate its effect, and you have more normal summons, sometimes break boards. Of course, we have the regular stuff. Unexplored Winds, it helps you to tribute your opponent's monsters. Your Book of Moon, your Call by the Grave, I'm only running 1. I have Advent of the Adventure. When this card dropped, oh my god, Floowandereeze became so broken. You can banish one of your wing beast monsters from your hand and add a Floowandereeze card from your deck to your hand. That's so insane. well, not a card, but you can only add the monster or the Floowandereeze field spell from your deck. So you can add Impin with this deck, with this card. This card could be your Eaglin replacement. It's such an amazing card. Obviously, 2 infinite impermanence. That's just to stop my opponents from playing the game. And then, of course, Dreaming Town. Dreaming Town allows you to normal summon your opponent's turn. So I hope you guys enjoyed the card by card. Your extra deck can literally be any 15 cards. You just need it to be 15 cards so your pot of extravagance can resolve. So we're gonna go ahead and look at some replays. I think I'm gonna show 3 replays, and then tomorrow I'm gonna drop the complete replay video with about, I don't know, maybe 5, 6, 7, 10 replays in it. You never know. I climbed all the way to diamond with this thing, so it's such an amazing deck. Hope you guys try it out and enjoy the video. So here we are, first replay of the day. My opponent goes first, so you guys are gonna be able to get to see me break his board. Here we go. How are we breaking this board? So I start off with extravagance, and then I activate Pot of Duality. This was before I added in Lava Golem into the deck. So I was using Evenly Match as my Lava Golem. So I go ahead and activate Pot of Duality. I see the Impin up top, so I grab Impin, go into battle, and then I activate Evenly Match. He has to now send his entire field to the graveyard, so he leaves his rival on field. I go ahead and normal summon Robina. I see that he has no interruptions because his field is not lighting up. I go ahead and normal summon Impin. Impin 1, Eaglin 2. Eaglin allows me to bring Eaglin back to my hand, and then Impin allows me to add the tribute spell from my deck to my hand. I go ahead and play the tribute spell. I said Book of Moon, thinking that he's going to think that it's the trap card, which he does. He thinks it's the trap card, so he's going to try to avoid normal summoning, I believe. I think this is where my opponent messed up. He goes Arrival, Circular into Splash Mage. No clue why he did that, but Impin completely negates Splash Mage, so yeah, I won. Even though it says time limit, I still would have won because his Splash Mage had no plays and he had no cards in his hand, so he had no way of summoning and or activating any more effects. So yeah, okay, so here's another duel. I believe we're going up against, I forgot what deck we're going up against, but he's gonna go into Iris, Sword Soul, set 3 and pass. So now I have 2 maps in hand. One of those maps are dead, so I'm gonna go ahead and activate Impermanence. He's gonna cross out my Impermanence. That's fine. So now I activate map. I use map's effect, show Rubina, send Eaglin to my banish zone, activate Rubina, add Eaglin back to my hand, and then add Sturry to my hand. I'm gonna head and activate Eaglin, and then I'm gonna normal summon Empen. Empen's gonna activate, and then Empen 1, Rubina 2 to add Rubina back to my hand. Grab the trap card, set, battle, attack into his Iris Sword Soul, and then pass turn. So I have 2 interruptions, 3 interruptions if he normal summons, but he kaijus me. Cool. So then he goes to end his turn. He activates Call by the Grave for whatever reason. That's such a dumb play. My monster performs better in the graveyard, sir. But anyway, activate Dreaming Town, normal summon Rubina, Rubina 1, Eaglin 2. I have Ryza in my hand so I can bounce his card back to any one of his 2 trap cards back to his deck. So I'm gonna go ahead and grab Token. Token is gonna get me Empen back to my hand, and I'm gonna normal summon Eaglin. He sees the writing on the wall and he backs out. All right, next replay. Next replay, we're going second again. Up against Sword Soul. He's gonna do his regular Sword Soul plays. I forgot how far he got, but he goes into Taye into Shishao 1, Taye 2. Then he goes in, he grabs Long Wang. Right? That's how you pronounce it. Long Wang into Shishang. Oh, this is Yugioh. And this is Shi Yang. Right, anyway. So, I'm going to extravagance. Grab 2 cards. Draw into the map. Activate map. Select token. Send Eaglin. Not Eaglin. Emp. Normal summon token. Try to get Emp back from my banish zone. He's gonna let that go through. So I now have Emp in my hand, and then I'm gonna activate normal summon Sturry. Sturry's gonna target. I forgot what I target. I target his Long Wang, and he's gonna negate. I'm gonna normal summon because I now have a normal summon into Empen, which is gonna negate all his monsters. That's it for him. He has no more interruptions. So Empen is now normal summon, so all of his normal summon monsters can't activate their effects. So I grab Tokan and I grab Stir back from my banish zone. I add map. Then I'm gonna normal summon Robina. I still haven't gone into my Eaglin place, so I still could now go into my Eaglin place. So Eaglin, grab Ryza, normal summon, activate Ryza's effect, send Shishang, and then I target my own Ryza to add it back to my hand. Plays, man. So Eaglin comes back to my hand. Ryza comes back to my hand. I return his Tenyi in his graveyard to his deck, and then I also return his Shi Yang to his extra deck. And then I activate Emp to banish a Wing Beast monster to lower his attack points to be able to hit over it. So then he's gonna go into Shaman. Shaman can't activate its effect, so I don't know why he did that, but I'm gonna call by the grave his Vishuddha so that he can't activate Vishuddha's effect. He's gonna normal summon, and I'm gonna normal summon Eaglin, and Eaglin's 1, Robina 2, I believe that was Robina. Yeah, Robina 2. And now I'm able to grab Miss Valley because I want to avoid him being able to normal summon special summon a Long Yang. So I grab Miss Valley so that if he summons again, I can activate my trap and go into Miss Valley to be able to negate it. So here he goes. He's still trying to play. He goes into Monk of the Tenyi. And then he tries to use Ashuna to grab Vishuddha. I'm going to activate my trap. Robina 1. Eaglin 2. Eaglin comes back to my hand. Then I can normal summon my Sturry. Sturry is going to allow me to banish my trap card so I can bring it back to my hand. So now my trap is back in my hand for next turn follow-up, and then I use Miss Valley to tribute his normal monster. So now I can negate the activation of cards. So he goes for another Link Summon into his Monk of the Tenyi, and then he's going to try to activate Vishuddha. I don't think he remembered that I called by the grave it, so then he's just going to back out, and I go for the win. Thank you. Appreciate it. Here we go again. We're going second again. As you guys can see, I purposely set myself to go second. So my opponent is going to activate Fusion Destiny. I'm going to activate Dimension Shifter. He's going to call by the grave it. Cool. I'm going to activate Max C so I could get a draw off of his special summon. So the Max C goes through. The Dimension Shifter doesn't go through. It gets negated. He gets the Fusion Destiny into Destiny Hero Phoenix Enforcer. So now I have to break this board. I go ahead, normal summon Robina. He's going to activate Phoenix Enforcer. I'm going to activate Advent of the Adventure to grab a Floowandereeze monster from my deck to my hand. I'm going to grab Eaglin. The reason why I grab Eaglin, you'll see this. I use Robina to grab Stir. The reason why I grab Stir is so that I can banish his Phoenix Enforcer in his graveyard to his banish zone. Because Phoenix Enforcer can only come back from the graveyard. He sees the writing on the wall now. Well, he should see the writing on the wall that, brother, you only have 2 cards and I'm going full combo. Leave the game. Next player. So I hope you guys enjoyed the recap. I didn't want to make this video more than 25 minutes long. Run Floowandereeze is such an amazing deck, and I hope you guys look out for the replay video that's going to come tomorrow with all of the replays of me tearing up Platinum to get to diamond with this deck. Make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe. JPizzy out. Take care.